Hey everybody, this is Matt Kolker with the Kolker Real Estate Group. We are at beautiful Artesian Estates in Del Sur, and I'm here with Ian Scattergood, otherwise known as the Permit Pro. Ian's been in the business for decades. Accessory dwelling units are a hot topic these days, and so we wanted to bring you an expert in the field to enlighten you with some information. Ian, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in the business, what you do, what's the focus of your business right now?
So, Ian Scattergood, the Permit Pro Consultant. I'm a design drafting firm. I do consultations, feasibility studies, records research. What I'm trying to do is shift from after the fact or as-built permits to the new accessory dwelling units, what we're doing this video shoot today. So, accessory dwelling unit is technically a second rentable living unit.
How many types of ADUs are there?
Ordinances at any building jurisdiction might have referred to them as accessory apartments, granny flats, guest living quarters, and things of that nature. Now it's basically being changed to an ADU. It's accessory dwelling unit. So you have your primary behind you, and we're getting over here to this beautiful new accessory dwelling unit. So we can have them attached to the home, we can have them detached, they can have a walkout basement, and the general rules are 150 square foot minimum with at least a 3/4 bath and a kitchenette, so you have room to clean and bathe, and it could go to a maximum of 1,200 square foot. Each jurisdiction can be more or less restrictive than the state law. Some have restrictions to a maximum of 640 in El Cajon. Coronado's 800. It's going to bring areas for people to get return on their investment and help maybe the first-time buyer buy a little bit upscale and rent something out to help pay his mortgage and get them into that home.
So we're coming up to this beautiful casita at Artesian. What are some of the most significant changes to the ADU laws that have come out?
They've got a little bit of a cleanup bill where state law said the building departments had 120 days to approve these things. And what they're going to do now with this cleanup bill is make it ministerial and not like a variance like most of the times prior to this law. You had to pay like $6,000 to $10,000 to get a variance and have a public hearing or a staff decision. Now it's ministerial, means just like a standard application. Now for investors, City of San Diego is not requiring owner occupancy. So now I can buy a property, create a second unit, or maybe you're buying something like we have one right now that is a code violation, a detached garage at a 0-foot side yard property line, and because the garage itself was legally permitted, the state law says where it sits, I can make it into a unit. One of the other great things to know is if it's an existing structure, like this is probably a new home with fire sprinklers. If the existing home is not fire sprinklered, I won't have to fire sprinkler that. So there's ways to save money with existing structures. If we build a brand new unit, whatever that underlying zone is for the rear yard setback, side yard setback, I do have to follow those, and as it's a new building, I will have to fire sprinkler, but not fire sprinkler the primary home.
Let's take a look inside. This is amazing. You want to tell us what's going on maybe in here? Or?
So as I'm seeing this for the first time, this is laid out as a studio. You have sitting room, a bedroom, a beautiful outside patio. One of the options I see here is stacked laundry. So as we spoke, you can have laundry in these second units now, where a lot of the jurisdictions said all I could have was a wet bar sink and no cooking facilities, and it couldn't be lived in full time. So the accessory dwelling unit is a full rentable unit. So the next thing is people are asking us, as we create a new unit and if we take a non-habitable unit and make it habitable, yes, your taxes will go up, but they're not going to reassess the whole lot with all those existing structures, just that conversion of space.
So speaking, I guess, specifically to Del Sur, could you help our audience understand what kind of impact the ADU, the new laws might have in this area, this jurisdiction?
Okay, so basically anywhere that City of San Diego like Del Sur sits in, the City of San Diego's adopted ordinance said whether it's attached within, so if I created that basement on the same floor, stacked a second story on the prime, I can't be no greater than 50% of the primary square footage, not to exceed 1,200 square foot. As this is a detached structure, the beautiful thing with the City of San Diego, even if that primary house was only 800 square foot, I get to build this at a maximum of 1,200 square foot.
What are some of the costs that might be involved in something like that?
So as the city council meetings coming this Monday the 30th, they're talking about the development impact fees. In a lot of areas where I was doing a lot was North Park and South Park, Kensington, Burlingame, because they have a lot of little structures already that are not being used as garages. But most of Mid-City is a $12,839 development impact fee, and then there's regional traffic congestion fees on most lots everywhere is $2,200. Then you pay your plan check fees, probably about less than $3,000, whatever your draftsman or architect for designing it, drawing it, taking it back and forth to the building department. So, you know, if they can cut down those fees, which they're talking about, we're gonna have more. We have about 50 people that are waiting for the fees to drop before they move forward. So now I'm moving to Peninsula, Point Loma, Claremont, Pacific Beach. Those are the areas where they're less than $4,000 for the development impact fees. And Linda Business, like, it just raised from $1,900 to $2,200.
Okay.
But so if they move the fees, then it's going to open up more territory.
And is that expected that they reduce fees?
That's what they're really talking about right now.
How would someone know if an ADU makes sense for them?
So one of the things that we do is we allow investors or homeowners, they can call us up, they can give us the address, and we can tell them quickly over the phone, yes, this looks like you have room. You know, we start with a phone call. If you call my number, my answering people say, give us the address. It's the address where you want to build the ADU, not where you live or take your mail.
Okay.
And then I like to Google Earth and look at the property before I even call you back.
There's so much going on with ADUs and there's so much information, and we just covered kind of a sliver of it. Hopefully it was helpful. So for those people that are watch the video and their interest is piqued, what's the best way to look into it, to get in contact with you and the process from there?
Okay, so my office phone number is 619-579-0088. My staff is good at letting you know what my email address is. I do want the address so I can at least Google the property before I call you back. I can kind of get through a lot of the hassle just over the phone and make it time saving for both of us.
Awesome. Ian, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Matt.
It was great. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to call Ian Scattergood, the Permit Pro, for all your questions, and we'll see you later. Thanks.